Either it's too much or not quite enough. The iPhone Air just came out and people are divided on this thing, to say the least. Some say it's the best thing to come out of Cupertino since the iPhone 4S, which was a great phone, but other people say it is Apple's worst idea yet. I don't know. Now today we're gonna break down all 3 reasons why people are hating on the iPhone Air, who this phone is not for, and more importantly, who should actually buy it. Let's get into it. First up is battery life. The iPhone Air is packing a 3,150 milliamp hour battery, and that's smaller than we've seen on any iPhone since the iPhone 11 or the iPhone 12. So it's about, the size, about what we were using at least 5 years ago. Now in practice, Apple still calls this all-day battery life, and I've been using the phone for 3 days now. It's not obviously a long period of time where I can comment heavily on it, but I'd say that's more or less about what I would expect to get from it. For me, I wake up around 6:30 in the morning. By 9 o'clock in the morning, about 85%. I'm down to 50% by noon, and by about 5 p.m., I'm in the neighborhood of 15 to 20%. And that is with what my regular usage, emails, phone calls, light threads, light Instagram. But if you're a heavy user where you're scrolling TikTok, watching long form YouTube videos all day, maybe you're doing some gaming, you're spending, at least, I say, screen on time in the neighborhood of 4 hours a day, you're gonna have some trouble with this. And that's just physics. I mean, the battery is small. I mean, the phone itself is razor thin. If we compare it to the iPhone 17 Pro, they're obviously different phones. They're obviously different thicknesses. You're gonna get a much bigger battery by about 2,000 milliamp hours in the iPhone 17 Pro Max compared to this phone. And you're going into this knowing what it's for. It's like you're blindfolded and saying, okay, I just want this phone. This, you know what you're getting for it. And that's okay. I mean, it's a beautifully designed phone. It does have drawbacks, but when we get towards the end, we'll talk about why those drawbacks necessarily don't matter, and more importantly, who they don't matter for. Now, the second thing that people are complaining nonstop about are the speakers, or let me rephrase that, the speaker. The iPhone Air has only one speaker, and this kind of surprised me that people really care about this so much, because you have people who don't comment or remark on audio quality of a phone, and then they just kind of latched onto this as saying, oh my God, the iPhone Air only has one speaker. I don't know. I don't really think it's that big of a deal, because I don't walk around with my phone blasting music or blasting like video calls all the time. Now, you might take calls on speakerphone, and if you do, I think a lot of people hate that. I just want to let you know that, because you are that person. But if you don't, then it's not really a big deal. And more than likely, if you have a phone, you probably have a pair of headphones that you kind of keep with you all the time, and then it becomes a non-issue because you're always listening to this. Now, my wife upgraded from the iPhone 15 Pro to this phone this weekend, and she didn't notice that there was one speaker until I pointed out to her just this evening when I said, do you hear that? She's playing an audiobook for my son who was in a different room or not necessarily close to us. So she had turned up the volume, and I pointed out to her, and she's like, oh yeah, I do notice that. But unless you have another phone to compare it to, or you have like a basis of comparison, you're not really gonna notice it, and it won't be that significant of a deal. Now, is it a deal breaker for some people? Totally. Is it a deal breaker for most people? I don't think so. But you'll have to let me know whether it's a deal breaker for you. That speaker is only inside of the top here where the cutout is. In older iPhones or previous versions of the iPhone, they had another speaker here. So when you're holding your phone, maybe in landscape mode, watching video, you would notice it there. But again, I don't think that most people are, I don't think it's a big deal to a lot of people. The only time I think that you would notice it if you play a lot of music or watch content where there is low end, you'll probably get a little bit of tinniness there, and that's how I would describe it. It's just lacking low end, and of course, it's physics again. There's only so much air that the speaker can move, and I don't know. It's not. I don't think it's really a big deal. It is a drawback, no doubt. Would I love to see stereo speakers? Absolutely, but I don't think most people are going to care. Now, the third reason that people are hating on this is the camera on the back of the phone. Now, this is the 48 megapixel fusion camera. It's a single lens. Obviously, you can see that's just a single lens. And if you're coming from the iPhone, the regular model iPhone or the iPhone Pro model, you're used to either 2 lenses or 3 lenses, depending on which phone that you're coming from. It's good. It's not pro quality, versatile, but it is good enough. If you're a content creator or someone who wants like the Swiss Army knife of their camera lenses, having the telephoto, the ultra wide, you you have ProRAW, you do ProRAW video, and all those things that you know that most people who are watching this video don't even know about, you definitely don't want this phone. But if you want a good point and shoot camera, right? You want to be able to take a picture and then look at that picture later on saying, oh, wow, that's a good photo. I remember that, I'm recalling that memory. This is absolutely fine. Do you lose some versatility with this phone compared to the other two phone models? Yes, but is that versatility worth the trade-off of what you're getting in this super thin package? I think that it is. Now, if you're a parent just snapping day-to-day photos of your kid, you're not necessarily a large photo user, and kind of strangely enough, you might not believe this, but there are people who don't even use their phone to take photos, and that's totally fine. Video is still top-notch, excellent, sharp, and for most people, this will feel more than good enough, especially coming from a phone that is at least from the iPhone 12, iPhone 13. So it's 3, 4, 5 years old at this point. So yeah, critics are right. It is not the Swiss Army knife of a camera, but it's not what this phone is trying to be. It's not trying to be a pro phone in the sense that it is prosumer, even though it has a pro chip in it. I don't think that really matters in this case. Now let's talk about who the phone is absolutely not for. If you are a content creator, you just skip this, right? You make content for Instagram, YouTube, you don't want this because you're missing all of the pro features that are in this. If you're a heavy media user, you're gonna be disappointed by the single speaker. Again, unless you're using AirPods or another set of headphones to listen to this all the time, I don't think it's that big of a deal. But if you need all day endurance, big battery life, you wanna go with the iPhone 17 Pro, 17 Pro Max. But more importantly, who is this phone for? It's really for everyone else. If you care about design and this phone is a beautiful phone, it feels like you're holding the future, this is what you wanna check out, because when you hold this in your hand, every problem, I say that with air quotes, that I just talked about really kind of melt away and you don't notice them. This phone is it's hard to explain, but once you hold it, you're like, this is the coolest thing ever. And it really is probably the coolest phone since the iPhone 4S, which is like the pinnacle iPhone or peak iPhone, when you think about that. Yeah, the missing speaker, yeah, the single camera, the smaller battery, those are all things that maybe some people care about, but not all people care about. Now, it's not trying to be an everything phone, it's trying to be the thinnest, sleekest phone that Apple has ever made. And without a doubt, I am sold on it. It nails that. Now, I wanna know from you, what do you think about the iPhone Air? Let me know down in the comments below. If you already picked one up, how much are you loving it? Or did you already exchange it for a different phone? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you're new here, make sure you hit subscribe for more iPhone content. My name is Mike, and I'll talk to you in the next one.